All right, today we're going to be learning how to connect an HDMI transmitter from a laptop to an HDMI receiver so it'll display what's on the laptop onto a TV or a projector. So what we'll be using are these two devices, HDMI transmitter number 5 and receiver number 5. So how these guys look, I'm going to bring it up and show you. On the back side of the transmitter, we have our power input, our HDMI input. This is what our computer plugs into, and then our HDMI out to TV. We'll talk about this later. And then on the back of our receiver, we have obviously our power, and then we have our HDMI out to TV, and this is what's going to connect to the TV. So we're just going to plug these in real quick. Here's our little power supplies for the transmitter. Plug that in. And our receivers over here. We'll get these two guys turning on. So this is transmitter and receiver number 5, and so they should connect automatically. So we'll have our HDMI cable plugged into our laptop. That'll go into the HDMI input on the back of the transmitter, and then we'll have our HDMI from our TV, and make sure you use the correct source for what you have selected on your TV. I'm putting it in HDMI number 3. That will go into our receiver out to TV. We've already got our laptop powered on. Save us a little time. I'm going to turn the TV on right now. And as they're powering up, you'll get your power will be a solid green once it's powered up all the way, and they're trying to connect when your wireless light is blinking. So as you can see, we're on HDMI 3 in the top left. And now we're just waiting for the transmitter and the receiver to connect. And if they don't connect immediately, I'll show you how to fix that. So now we're just going to give it a sec. So on these remotes, we have the two main buttons we'll be using is this top left button and the top right one. This top left is your sourcing button to cycle through your sources. Top right button is your menu button. So we're going to go over to our receiver that's connected to the TV, click the menu button, and it shows that we're connected. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to unplug the HDMI, plug it back in, and now it wants to display the image. That helps sometimes, not the best fix. It should have automatically connected, but unplugging and plugging back in HDMIs is an option. So now what we're going to show you real quick is how to set up a receiver that does not automatically connect. So we have receiver number 2 here. I'm going to plug this guy and power him on. We're going to wait just a moment for him to power on, and then I'll show you how to add that receiver to this transmitter's sourcing list. Okay, so it looks like we're on now. I'm going to go ahead and click the menu button. Now, as you can see in the top left here, it's trying to connect to transmitter with the ID number MWTV9652E8 on every transmitter. On the back side, there's a transmitter ID. Now, this transmitter ID is not the matching one that's up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit that menu button on our little silver controller. We're going to go to Configure. We're going to go to Add Transmitter, and it's going to scan for a transmitter. Now, the transmitter that popped up here is the matching one. This is transmitter 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to click OK on our controller on that transmitter. It'll give us this prompt. Our little wireless light for sync will turn solid red. It tells you to press your sync button on your transmitter that's on the front. When you press that, you'll start blinking orange here. Once the receiver recognizes that this guy's trying to connect, it will also start to blink orange, which it is now. And then once they're done connecting, it'll take just a moment, but then they'll be able to sync up, and you'll now have added receiver 2 onto this transmitter number 5's list. And now they're connected. So, like I said, some troubleshooting tips, making sure your HDMI cords are correctly connected. That kind of resolved our first issue with number 5. Now that I've saved receiver number 2 on transmitter 5's list, it's going to remain there until someone deletes it. And how that's done also is in the menu where we went to configure. Where we added our transmitter, you can delete transmitters, but we should never have to do that. And that's how you connect a single HDMI receiver to a transmitter in this video.